Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. Sastasha is the first dungeon available in A Realm Reborn, and is part of the main story questline available at level 15. The quest giver is Baderon at Limsa Laminza Upper Decks. This may well be your first ever Final Fantasy XIV dungeon experience, and will also include some beginner tips. So without further ado, let's get into the guide. We start this duty with a party of 4 players consisting of 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS players. This is called a light party in Final Fantasy XIV, and all dungeons are completed with light parties. The tank should gain enmity of the first adds in front of you, and the party should kill them, allowing you to progress past them. The tank's role is to gain enmity, which is otherwise known as threat, of all the adds so that the damage dealers and healer can damage the enemies without being killed themselves. Kill the first set of adds and continue forward to reach another group. The minimap will be your best friend in dungeons, as you can traverse your way through using it, though many of the dungeons in A Realm Reborn are very linear and are pretty self-explanatory direction-wise. A good tip for this first duty is to head slightly north and read the bloody memo. This will give us a hint as to what to do later in the dungeon, saving us some time. We can see that in this instance the captain likes his cabbage green. The colour is random and will become clearer later on. Keep progressing forward through the tunnels, killing the adds you come across. The cave Aurelia we come across will introduce us to our very first AoE marker. This shape is called a column AoE and will deal damage to anyone stood within the orange marked area when the cast timer completes. You can simply move to avoid the damage or interrupt this ability with a stun. It is important to note that you can stand in the orange hit marker to start, but you must not still be stood in the AoE marker when the cast from the enemy ends, as you will take the damage, and in this case be paralysed for a few seconds. Progress forward until you reach the cattery. This room is filled with adds, and we must make our way to the other side of the room. It is important here not to gain enmity of too many adds, as they will overpower your party and kill you. Certainly if this is your first run, it is recommended to take each add group one at a time and progress comfortably. Once we reach the end of this room, we will see a purple line separating the 2 areas. This indicates the first boss fight area, and the bloody memo note now becomes apparent. We know the captain likes his cabbage green, so we can activate the green coral formation, which reveals the switch. Picking the wrong coral formation here will spawn another Cave Aurelia add for us to fight, and this one will dish out a poison debuff. It is recommended to skip this unnecessary add and learn what colour we need to press. Activate the main switch and get ready for your first ever boss fight. Chopper is your first boss, and there is nothing to be worried about here. The tank should gain enmity and the party should keep damaging the boss until you see another AoE area marker. This circular area surrounding the boss is called a point blank AoE marker, and this can also be avoided by moving out of the way or interrupting the cast with a stun. Failure to avoid this ability will debuff the player with paralysis, interrupting casts periodically for around 20 seconds. Simply keep up the damage on Chopper and avoid the point blank AoEs, and after no time you'll have chopped down Chopper. Activate the switch to continue. Each boss should drop a treasure coffer. Make sure to pick up this loot, as dungeon equipment and weapons can have better stats than shop bore or storyline items. The loot system in Final Fantasy XIV is very simple. You can click need if that piece of loot is specifically for your class. It will be greyed out if you aren't the correct class for that item. Greed will mean you want the item, and you will roll against any other players who have also pressed greed. The highest dice roll will receive the item, and pass if you feel you do not want it. Clear your next set of adds and progress into the second boss fight area. Captain Madison is our second boss, and his henchmen are here to help. Start the fight with the tank gain enmity of the enemies and deal damage as usual. It is generally recommended to kill lesser adds first and then focus the boss. Getting used to this mechanic early will help you throughout the later stages of the game. This fight is unique, as it is actually split into 2 separate fights. When you have dealt enough damage to Captain Madison, around 50% health, he will get scared and run away. Remember to pick up your loot and proceed. The next area is a vast room filled with many different side rooms. Depending on your party, you can enter each and every side room and kill the adds inside for more XP. However, this is time consuming. Most parties will kill what is necessary to proceed, and I will show you that path in this video. Kill the first set of adds you see on the raised platform, and then head down towards the south and kill the next shallow scale Reaver. This add will drop a key. Make sure to pick this up and kill the 2 guards at the door further south. Once they are killed, unlock the door with the key and enter the captain's quarters. Huge disappointment here as you face just a regular Shallowtail Reaver. Kill the add and pick up the Wave Rider gate key. Head out of the room and head due west towards the next gate. Kill the adds and unlock the gate to progress. In case you are ever unsure what to do next in a dungeon, at the right hand side of your screen you will notice a duty checklist. This will indicate what we have done and what we need to do next. Keep an eye out if you ever get stuck. Proceed into the boss fight area to engage with Captain Madison once again. Kill the adds and focus Captain Madison, and after a short while an on-screen prompt will tell us that Captain Madison has released the scurvy dogs. This will introduce more ads that we have to kill. Ensure the tank gains enmity of the dogs and kill them as usual. Shame about the puppy, we wanted to keep it. At around 25% health, Captain Madison will run off again. Give chase and arrive in the final area of this dungeon. Clear the ads here, but be mindful of how many you gain enmity of. Clear each group one by one if it's your first run. Once you have cleared the area, enter the final boss fight and enjoy the cutscene. Denn the Orcatoothed is our final boss. Huge high five for finally getting rid of Captain Madison. The tank will need to gain enmity of Den and the party will need to deal damage as normal. Throughout the area there are unnatural ripples that can be activated. This mechanic is used when the on-screen prompt tells us that bubbles start to form on the surface. A party member can go and activate them to stop any further ads spawning. Make sure to avoid or interrupt the AoE cone from Den and keep up the damage. If ads do spawn during this fight, make sure the tank gains enmity and the rest of the party burst them down quickly. Then refocus back on the boss. This boss has a relatively low health pool and can be killed quickly. Well done for completing your first A Realm Reborn dungeon. And there you have it, Sastasha is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this trial a difficulty rating 1 out of 5 swords. This is the beginner dungeon for the game and is meant to be easy. The special loot includes plundered weaponry and armour, a faded copy of Riptide Orchestrion Roll and a Sahagin card. Like, comment and if you haven't already, click to subscribe. We are 4Player Squad Gaming, thanks for watching.